climbed up 800 feet out of the shelter for this view, and I'll be damned if I'm missing it. It is a 0.1 mile Blue Blaze trail. I guess this is called Buzzard Rock or something. I don't know. I'm gonna get over here and see. Oh, nice. Wow. All right, good morning, everybody. Today is it's like day 6 of my section, but I'm counting days based on how many days I've hiked on the Appalachian Trail this year. So it is almost 8 in the morning. I've been hiking for about an hour and about 45 minutes. I had a lovely 900-foot climb straight out of the shelter. We stayed at Tumbling Run shelter in Pennsylvania last night. So I had to knock that out before I could even pull the camera out because I was like gasping for air. Anyways, so it's gonna be 80 degrees today, so I wanted to get an early start this morning because we're doing 12 miles to Quarry Rock Shelter, I believe it is, which apparently has a swinging bench and potted plants. So I'm wicked excited to go to that shelter. Just want to point out, like, what a difference from Georgia. I love camping at night. I'm having a good time. It's nice being with somebody because we don't hike together, but like we generally like go to the same campsites and we go into town together. I've been seeing a lot of familiar faces. I've been hiking with a couple, like not with them, but like seeing them at shelters. Turtle Toes and Yard Sale and their dog Momo. Momo is really cute. I love seeing Momo at the shelters at night. I'm sleeping better. I'm gonna hike and I'm gonna make the miles and I'm gonna do it till I'm not happy anymore. So I love doing the trail this way. It's been a really good time. So in lieu of me listening to this podcast called I've Had It, I'm gonna tell you what I've had it with today. The fucking bugs. It's really humid and the bugs are whipping around, bouncing into my face, landing on my arm. I'm like going like this with my poles. Why can't they just mind their own business? I mean, I hate bugs. I think they're so annoying, so petty. They can't mind their own business. They just gotta bother you all day, see what you're doing, follow you around. I've had it with the bugs. I was gonna go to the shelter and sit down, take a long break, about 6 miles in, but I'm a lazy bitch. So going downhill 0.3 miles sounds like a hard no and a hard pass from me. So I'm gonna sit right here. So while I sit here taking a lunch break, I mean, it's like 10 o'clock and I think I have 5.4 miles left to get to camp. So I would like to tell my story from last night. So the shelter we stayed at was Tumbling Run shelter, and it was 0.2 miles from the road. So you could kind of hear noise from the main drag, motorcycles and whatnot. So I decided to stay in the shelter last night. Nobody else stayed in there with me. Most people were in their tents, and it looked like a clean shelter. And I knew I wanted to get up early this morning to beat the heat a little bit and hike earlier. So I figured not having to pack up my tent would help with that. So the shelter was right next to one of those long metal poles that go up, and they have hooks at the top for bear bags and whatnot. I mean, these things are tall. Like, I haven't seen them until Maryland and Pennsylvania now. But so last night around like 1-2 in the morning, I was hearing like a bunch of rustling, sounded like people walking around. Then I heard the chain on the like pitchfork kind of thing that you use to get your bag up there, and it sounded like somebody was taking their bag down. And I didn't see any headlamps or anything, hear anything, any voices, but it sounded like somebody walking around. It sounded like somebody was taking their bag down. I heard the chain moving. I heard things were falling. The bag was sounding like it was getting opened. And it continued for about 30 or 40 minutes. Just here, every now and then I would hear it would sound like moving around right next to the shelter. Now I'm thinking, oh my God, we're right next to the road. Some freaking punk ass teenagers or somebody's coming in here and stealing food, because a woman in, I think, Virginia just got her food stolen from a campsite. So it happens. But so I'm just thinking, oh my God, somebody's taking our food. I'm here in this exposed shelter, you know, not even covered up. My stuff's laying out. Somebody could just come over and grab my stuff. You know, because when you're in a tent, I mean, it's not protecting you that much, but you can at least hear like the zipper if somebody's opening it. They can't just reach in and grab your stuff. So I'm freaking out. I'm laying there like I didn't even want to move. I'm listening to these noises. It's keeping me awake. I'm like, who the fuck is getting up right now, getting their bag and making all this noise? I was getting so annoyed. So this morning, Andy walks over to me and I'm like, dude, I think somebody like was messing with the food last night. I was up listening to it. And so he walks over and he goes, oh my God, my food bag's open. Like my stuff's torn into. There's like a empty peanut butter packet on the ground, ramen busted open, everything. And my bag was fine. But I was like, oh my God, someone came in here and dicked around and messed with your food. And he was like, oh no, probably just the raccoons. And I was like, what? He was like, yeah, this shelter, I guess on far out, the comments say that there's a raccoon problem. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I lost sleep over these little shits, thinking I was about to get robbed. It was just raccoons. Someone told me the rocks don't start until northern PA. Calling you out on your bullshit, whoever said that. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. This whole state is one big rock. I'm doing everybody a service today. What is it, you may ask? Breaking all the cobwebs on trail. You're welcome. All right, I just crossed over a busy road. Yeah, you could probably hear it behind me. So I ran across that, and I just crossed into Caledonia State Park. I believe has a pool, bathrooms, hopefully water, because I've been carrying water the last 10 miles, extra water, because to my knowledge there's not any until the next shelter. The last shelter had water. It was at a spring, but it was like 0.3 miles off trail downhill. I'm like, I don't want to go to that. So yep, just got into Caledonia State Park. I have about 2 miles left to camp. It's 12:30, so I'm gonna hang out in this park for a little bit so I don't get to camp too early, and then I'll do my last 2 miles. I also read that my friends told me if you see red blazes that somebody's putting beer on trail. Look what we got here, a red blaze. I'm not a beer drinker. I would like to see a beer on trail just to be able to say that I got a beer on trail, but I hate beer. So, but yeah, so excited to be here. Probably won't go swimming just because all I have is sports bra and underwear, and I'm not sure how the park's gonna feel about that, but it's good to be here. Got one more climb going up to the shelter. It's about 600 feet out of the park.